Labour Department to start inspection on organizations. MOU paves way for University of Goroka to restart classes. And Dulux bats home Under19 Pom cricket title.
This is National MTV News with Hope Imaka.
Hello and welcome to Sunday's news. Thank you for joining us. The Labour and Industrial Relations Department is aiming to redirect its responsibilities after launching the Combined Labour Inspection Programme, or CLIP. Department Secretary Mary Morola says inspection programs will roll out after years of non-compliance by businesses both in the private and public sector. The department launched its CLIP program recently in Port Moresby.
Employees of the Department of Labour and Industrial Relations gathered for a small but significant event on Friday to launch the CLIP program. CLIP, or Combined Labour Inspection Program, is a key collaboration by the Labour Department to see businesses or organizations comply with labour laws, regulations and other laws which have been neglected over the years.
To ensure all employing organizations, companies and industrial establishments comply with labour laws, regulations, policies and instructions.
While addressing department staff, Secretary Morola pointed out the effort inspectors will play while carrying out inspections. A crucial step that will be taken will be the conduct of inspectors.
A very comprehensive set of ethical behaviors, conducts and values that go to guide the professional conduct of all team members.
The CLIP program will cover areas in labour administration, industrial relations, occupational safety and health, foreign employment, workers' compensation and national employment service, among others.
A history of its own making in the department, where we are bringing all the legislations together and going as a one team.
Also presented were new uniforms and uniquely made ID cards which will be used by inspectors. 5 inspection teams have been established and inspections will commence next month for a duration of 3 months. NCD, Gulf and Central provinces will be the first to roll out the CLIP program before other centers in the country.
Those reports are very important for statistical purposes. Government is planning and this kind of things based on statistics that we provide to the government.
Jack Lapava Jr., National MTV News.
The UN Development Programme is working on setting up PNG's first integrated information system for disasters. UNDP says it is essential to identify current gaps within the existing system and formulate a plan for developing an improved disaster information management system. This work is part of UNDP's larger initiative on disaster risk management, which aims to strengthen disaster risk reduction and build resilience in disaster-prone communities. UNDP will work closely with the PNG National Disaster Centre to achieve this plan. Lay's telecom branch has started to give out free internet to houses at the Awilunga estate in 9 Mile. Telecom announced that any customer with a fixed line has till the 31st of August to get the free internet.
We are actually connecting ADSL 2 Plus, ultra broadband high-speed internet to every homes within the Valley View. And it's a partnership between Telecom and Onnebrooks Estate, who owns these properties. So what we're doing today is basically giving them free internet, and they're taking advantage of the promo we've been having last month, and it's continuing this month also. Yeah.
Students from Don Bosco Technical Institute have successfully staged their 5th cultural show yesterday. Under the theme Bungimpasin Tumbuna Wantaim Bel Isi, the show brought together hundreds of former staff and students. Also present at the event was Japanese ambassador to Papua New Guinea, Morio Matsumoto, and his wife.
The biannual event coincides with the Year of Mercy, according to the Catholic calendar. It was a colorful celebration with over 15 cultural groups taking part, with the theme Bungimpasin Tumbuna Wantaim Belisi, or Uniting Culture in Peace. The students believe the gathering speak of mercy and is a way of uniting DBTI students from various cultural backgrounds. These celebrations are a lead-up to the 2016 World Youth Day, which will be hosted in Poland. DBTI is a tertiary institution that educates students on mechanical, electronic and carpentry skills. It started hosting cultural shows since 2010. Yesterday's celebration was attended by High Commissioners from Australia and ambassadors from Indonesia, Germany and Korea, including senior members from the Port Moresby Catholic Archdiocese. Thakla Gunga, National, MTV News.
On a similar event, Wawin National High School held its annual cultural show yesterday. It was attended by family, friends, the Makam community, business houses and the lay public. Participating students dressed in their traditional attires from around Papua New Guinea. Students presented items in an arena and were tasked to explain the meaning of their dances. The smaller group of students from the autonomous region of Bougainville danced to the beat of their bamboo bands. There were also larger groups from the Highlands region and the Momasa region. Morbe province was split into West Morbe and East Morbe. We'll have more local and overseas stories when we come back. Stay with us. Welcome back. Classes at the University of Goroka will resume tomorrow. This follows a reconciliation ceremony between UOG students and the academic staff last Friday. After weeks of continuous boycotting of classes, the students are making a stand to rebuild stronger working relationships with the administration and complete the remaining classes for 2016. UOG Vice-Chancellor Dr. Musawe Sinebare told the students that the University of Goroka was built to educate academics and encourage them to remain focused in their studies. Meanwhile, classes for the University of Papua New Guinea and the University of Technology students in Leh will resume next year. Over 50 adventurers from the 2-mile Seventh-day Adventist Church in Port Moresby visited the MTV Studio today. The visit was part of their adventurer classes, which media was a subject. Adventurer leader Dorothy Bisai told MTV the visit was a privilege for many.
It was a fun-filled excursion as the 2-mile adventurers made their way to Boroko's Garden City to visit the MTV Studio. For many, it was history in the making to visit the nationally owned media agency and learn all about the actions behind the scene.
Today is our excursion. That is why we came to see MTV. We have learned a lot from what has been told.
The visit is part of the adventurer classes, which children are grouped into different ages apart from the main church programs.
We have media in our studies or the lessons that we teach to the children. That is why we brought them out so that they can see and know what media is all about.
Many were thrilled to learn about MTV, its camera work productions and presentation of live news. One was given a visual set trial, which many learned the secret of the green screen.
As the scripture says in Proverbs 22 verse 6, train up a child in a way that he should go, so that when he is old he will not depart.
Despite being rowdy at times, the whole excursion was a success, and hopefully many pass the media honor when it comes for investiture. Jack LaPave Jr., National, MTV News.
And now heading overseas, Typhoon Mermaid, the first storm of the monsoon season to hit the East Sea, brought heavy rains and floods to the north of Vietnam. According to the Road and Railway Traffic Police Division of Hanoi, certain areas of the city experienced flooding, landslides and power outages in several provinces.
An estimated $5 million worth of damage has been done to electricity pylons. According to authorities, the typhoon was much more powerful than forecasted and more catastrophic than the level 8 storm in 2012. Nearly 5,600 trees were knocked down, 130 hectares of seafood farming damaged, about 200,000 hectares of rice fields flooded, and nearly 21,000 hectares of crops damaged. Water drainage systems were deployed to full capacity. However, the blackout limited the efforts. Vanessa Knight, MTV World News.
Youths have gathered in Poland for the Youth Day. The pilgrims, mostly youths, have been challenged to be the source of hope for the future. This was the message from Pope Francis.
Because he is visiting the Shrine of Divine Mercy. This is one of the major shrines here in Poland, and it is also a homage to John Paul II, because this is a place, George, which is based on the visions of a Polish nun. Her name was Saint Faustina Kowalska, and she had visions of Jesus, and she wrote about them in a diary. But the Vatican banned her diary in the 1960s, and it was John Paul II who was a big fan of hers. He really believed in her visions. It was a vision of Jesus with these rays of light coming out from his heart, and the idea of mercy. And you'll see that image of Jesus all around. And John Paul II really got behind her cause, called on the Vatican to lift the ban. And when he became Pope, he made her a saint, and he had this place designed and built. So Pope Francis visiting both in homage to John Paul II and the importance of this saint, but also because it's the theme of mercy. That is the theme of this entire trip. And indeed, the kids right now are making a pilgrimage of 9 miles on foot to go to the outskirts of Krakow for the prayer vigil, which will be tonight. It's kind of the crescendo of the last night of this 5-day visit before the final mass tomorrow morning.
Trukai Sports is next. All the details after the break.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. In cricket, Dulux United proved that they were the better team today after defeating IBS Poreporna by 133 runs after 10 overs in the Pom Cricket Under-19 20 overs grand final. After defying 10 other teams throughout the season, Dulux United came out on top. Dineros Raiko with more.
Dulux United landed 133 runs in 10 overs and secured themselves the 2016 Under-19 title. With the likes of Nora Rua, who acquired the highest runs of 42, and Sinaka Arua another 27, it was a sealed deal for the Dulux United. Bore Morea from the IBS Poreporna side managed the highest of 29 knockout runs, but that was still not enough to beat their opponents. Despite losing 3 batsmen consecutively after being outdone by IBS Poreporna bowler Willie Now, Dulux United came back stronger and finished with an additional 15 runs made by Hergi Toa. With just 124 runs in 10 overs, IBS Poreporna is now the runner-up for this year. Dini Rose Raiko, National MTV Sports.
To netball, and Monia Paramana are the champions of the Port Moresby netball competition. They beat Snacks Mermaids by 46 points to 41 in last night's grand final at the Rita Flynn complex. Only 5 points separated both teams for much of the contest, with Paramana taking the lead in the first quarter and never letting go.
Rockers' support early on in a nail-biting encounter between the Snacks Mermaids and Monia Paramana in the Port Moresby Netball Association Grand Final. Consistency had been the key for the Mermaids with their host of international players, while Paramana showed tenacity. Kilayamo and Marie Otio matching up with Raylene Andrew and Jeffet Tulapi. By the end of the second quarter, it was a tight 25-22, Paramana ahead. The audience treated to an entertaining third quarter as well. Tulapi marked closely by Paramana's Renagi Ila. The Mermaids fortunate with an infringement early on as Raylene Andrew looked to close the gap. Otio would hit back soon after. The reintroduction of Mermaid captain Nancy Kapi injected much needed attack as Paramana began to pull away. Goalkeeper Kepu Kapi fighting hard in defense, while Paramana began turning on the flare. The clock ticking as the intensity rose towards the final quarter, and in a surprising shift, Tulapi replaced an attack in a bid to shore up the Mermaid defense. Andrew was the picture of concentration as Paramana continued to counter. And despite last-minute efforts by the Violet women, it was Paramana victorious in a narrow 46-41 performance.
We were up against two
champion, like premier ladies. So we came in as underdogs, and we humbly accept that loss. They deserve that win. They were a very strong team, and we had to we brought all we could. So
we've been determined from day one. We kept asking ourselves throughout the season whether we wanted to make it to the grand final, and we were hungrier than ever today. We were not in the first quarter. We came out down, but we never gave up, and that's why, this lovely bunch of ladies, it's all about teamwork.
Jeremy Moggy, National, MTV Sports.
Bosco Swimming Club in the nation's capital hosted a swimming carnival yesterday. Upcoming swimmers competed in their respective strokes. President of the club, Ryan Agnew, said the one-day event is part of preparations for future national and international events.
The swimming carnival was to bring all swimmers, both young and old, to pick up on skills, learn from each other, and also to see and find potential swimmers who can make it to the next level. President Ryan Agnew says the club tournament was also a way forward for the swimmers to prepare themselves for the upcoming events both nationally and internationally. The swimmers took part in their respective events.
Today's carnival is Goroka Amateur Swimming Club's monthly carnival. We hold about 10 a year. This is just an opportunity for our swimmers to get in the water, compete against each other and get some practice in competition, as they would normally if they were to go to any international event. All of our swimmers have the ability to compete, ranging from 6-year-olds all out.
Agnew added people interested in joining the code of swimming or individuals willing to enroll their children in the club should feel free, as the club already has trained coaches to teach the young swimmers.
So we've seen a pretty large increase in the interest in the sport of swimming, particularly with this world-class facility that's been built for the Pacific Games last year. Our numbers have increased quite considerably, and we've even got a lot of interest from older swimmers, adults, and also the younger ones as well.
Swimmers are currently in training for the national championships in September. Godwin Eki, National, MTV Sports.
Thousands of athletes do want to be in Rio, and those already there are making the most of it. One group we may be seeing a lot during the Games is the refugee team. There are 10 athletes from Syria, South Sudan, Ethiopia, and the Democratic Republic of Congo. They represent almost 60 million people currently displaced all around the world.
Chance for the refugees to participate in the Olympics, and to give us hope that for us maybe to encourage the young generation, our fellow refugees who are remaining in the camps, maybe to continue their talent.
For others, the Rio Olympics are also a chance to reconnect with friends and family, while giving hope to all refugees that better days will come.
Whereby when you call somebody a refugee, you feel ashamed. Even some of them, maybe, they don't have a chance to do everything as a human being can do, like going to school. Most of them, they are staying in camp because they lose hope in life. But as an ambassador for them, I can say that don't lose hope in life. You have a chance to change your life.
More than 1 million refugees made their way into Europe last year, many of them originating from war-torn countries like Syria, Afghanistan and Somalia. The United Nations says there are over 65 million refugees worldwide, the highest number ever, estimating that 24 people are displaced every single minute.
Step little bit bigger.
For this team, these Olympic Games are about more than winning medals. They're about giving refugees the strength to carry on their fight.
That's it for Chukai Sports. The weather report is next. All the details after the break.
Chukai Sports. Chukai Sports.
Your weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow. In the southern region, generally fine all throughout for Port Moresby. Possible drizzles for Daru, light showers for Kerema and Popondetta, and showers as well for Alatau. In the Momasa region, some rain for Lae, generally fine weather for Madang, and evening showers for Wewak and Vanimo. In the New Guinea Islands, generally fine all throughout for Lorengau, Kavieng, Kopo and Rabaul. Light showers then clearing for Kimbe, and some showers tonight for Buka. And in the Highlands region, light showers likely, then morning scattered fog for all centres. And that's the news, sports and weather for Sunday, the 31st of July 2016. You have a great working week. Good night.